So today we are going to explore how we can implement social login in Django using Google and GitHub. So first, let's see what is social login. Social login is a feature that allows user to sign into your website using their existing accounts from platforms like Google, Facebook or GitHub. But how does it works? To understand social login, it's essential to know about OAuth, the protocol that make it possible. OAuth stands for Open Authorization. It's a secure framework that allows a third-party website like our Django website to access a user's information from other servers such as Google, GitHub, Facebook, etc. without exposing the user's password. Instead of sharing their credential, user authorize the service to share specific information like their email address and profile data with your website. So this process not only enhance security but also make the login experience smoother and more user friendly. So let's take an overview of what we are going to make in this project. So this is a simple HTML form where I have implemented Google login and GitHub login. So let's see the flow. So if I click on this sign up with Google, it will redirect me to the Google account where I can select my Google account, and after selecting the account, it will redirect me to the success URL. So let's see the flow of GitHub login. So when I click on this button, it redirects me to GitHub for authorization, and here I can authorize my account, and after authorization it will redirect me to the success page. To implement social login in Django, we are going to use Django-allauth. That is highly recommended package for handling social authentication. So let's start by installing it. So it is already installed in my system. Now go to your Django setting, and in your installed app, you need to add Allauth app to handle the social authentication. We are going to use Google and GitHub. So I will add the providers Google and GitHub here. So after this, add the authentication backend for Allauth, and in the middleware, add the Allauth account middleware, and in your project's URL, add the Allauth URLs to your path. Now you just need to run the migrate command, and you have completed the setup of Allauth in your Django app. Now you just need to configure the social provider settings. So here I have set up the Google app and GitHub app in the social account providers. You can check the description for this code. So here I just need to set up the client ID and secret for Google app, and also I need to set up this for GitHub app. To get the client ID and secret for Google, go to Google Developer Console. So this is the place where you can manage your Google projects. So let's start by creating a new project. And you can create a new project from here. Go to create project. Here I am providing the default name to this project, and my project is created. Now let's select the project. Go to API and services, and here you need to enable Gmail API for your project. So I will search for Gmail API and enable this Gmail API. And now after enable the Gmail API, you will get a button to create credentials. Click on this button, select your API, and here you can select user data. So here you can name your application, and here you can select the application type. So I'm selecting web application. So here you need to add the redirect URIs. When the user will successfully authenticated with Google, then Google will redirect user to this URL. Here you can add the Allauth URL for handling callback, and then just save the project. And in the credential, you can see your project here, where you can see your client ID and your client secret. Just copy these secret and ID and add these secrets here. Copy the client ID and add it here. After making these changes, you are all set up with Google configuration. So in your HTML form, add the provider login URL to Google in anchor tag, and also make sure to load social account. So now when you click on this button, you will be redirected to Allauth URL. So to avoid this, you can add a setting social account login on get to true, and then if you will click on this button, you will not be redirected to the Allauth URL, but we are getting this error. See the error detail. Just copy this URL. So I was getting the error because I have added GitHub here, added the Google login callback URL here, and save it. So now again click on this button, and now you will be redirected to the Google account, and here you can select your account. So by default, Allauth will redirect you to this URL. So you need to configure one more setting here. You can set the login redirect URL. I have set it to success URL, which I have defined here. So now let's start the flow. And now you can see we are successfully redirected to the specified URL. So now let's try to set up the GitHub auth app to get client ID and client secret. For that, just go to your GitHub account and in your setting, select the developer setting, and here you can see auth apps, and you can register a new application here where you can provide the application name, your homepage URL, and description is optional, and here you need to set the callback URL. You don't need to configure your callback URL. All auth have all these functionality to handle the callback. So just add this URL here, so register this application, and here you have the client ID. Just copy the ID and just paste it in this key, and you can generate a client secret. Just copy this and paste it in the secret key. And that's all for the GitHub configuration. If I check is it working or not, you can see I am redirected to the GitHub for authorization, and I'm being successfully authorized. That's all for the video. If you found this helpful, you can like this video, and if you want to get more content like this, you can subscribe to this channel.